Okay, stat students, we are looking at how to get information about the least square regression line from a data set. So I've given you a bunch of tips on this worksheet. We are going to be using this calculator from Desmos to make our scatter plots and get all the information we need for this. So that's important. If you don't know how to take screenshots, because I want you to share your graphs with me, there are three different um, instructions for that. One is for the Chromebook, another is for a regular old laptop for Windows, and then if you have a Macintosh or a MacBook, you'll use the 4 to get a partial screenshot because you're just going to capture the graph part. Okay, so that's there. You also have these frameworks for each of the interpretations that we do. So when I go down here to number 5, and it says interpret correlation, I'm going to come back up here and just copy. So I highlight that and I hit Control copy, Control C, and then I go down to number 5 and I click in that box, and then I do Control V, and that pastes that in here. Now, the only thing I need to now change is what was the strength. I need the value, is it strong, moderate, or weak? And then the other thing would be the direction. Is it positive or negative or no association, right? Those things. So I would change those out. Okay. All right. So that's the idea. Now let's take a look at this data set and see what I'm going to do to calculate everything that I need. So the first thing I'm going to notice is that I have family income predicting the number of children. All right, so that's important. I know you see these columns and they could be in the right order, they could not be, but the fact that they say income predicts the number of children, that would mean that our income is our X and our number of children is our Y. Okay, so pay attention to that, right? This is the explanatory because this is what's used to predict the other thing. So we would call that the explanatory and this the response. So do pay attention to that. I understand that normally you see your X column and then your Y column here, but you also want to understand how they've presented the data or the scenario in the word problem. Okay, so your answer to number 1, income. Answer to number 2, number of children. Okay, so that's that. Number 3 is the one where we have to do all this cut and paste and get the accurate line and all of that. So how do I do that? Well, let's take a look. I have given you this data set here, the 36,6, right? For this income, 36,000 with 6 children. I've given you that data set here on the side. All right. So what you're going to do is highlight all of these numbers. So this is a shortcut. You can do this by hand if you want, but the shortcut is to highlight those, Control copy, so Control C, and then you're going to go to this calculator here. So you're going to click on that link because it's already kind of set up to be ready for you. All right. So we've clicked on that link. Notice I've already got the equation set up, ready to go. And then I'm going to click on this second box and paste in my data. How about that? Control V for paste. All right. And there they are, all there in my data set, which is great. So that's awesome. However, I also want the equation of the line. And notice that this is x1 and this is y1. So these numbers here should be 1 as well. So I'm going to go up here and change the 2 to 1 for the y and the 2 to a 1 for the x. And there's our equation of the line of best fit, the least square regression line. It also now gives us our y-intercept, our slope, and it gives us r. So where am I seeing that? All right, I'm seeing the slope here. Or no, so not the slope. Pay attention. That's the y-intercept. M is our slope. And then what other number do I care about? I care about the correlation, which is this number here. All right, so I would write these numbers down on a separate piece of paper because you're going to have to tell me what R is and give me 3 decimal places. So R, you're going to write it out. It's going to be negative 0.891. All right, your slope. So when I do my equation, you're going to say y hat equals 7.091 minus 0.046x. So you can write this out on a separate sheet of paper so that you have it. And then when you go over to your problem set here and it's time for you to plug in for R and for the calculating the line, you'll have that information for you. The other thing that you're going to want to do is cut and paste this, right? So that's important to figure out what to do and what you need to show on this. So I'm going to show you the way to go about doing this. Now, when we show our graph, what's the thing that we want to make sure that we have? We want to have context. We want to label the axis. So you have to click on this wrench here. And our X in this case was income or family income. We can put family income here or income for short. If you don't like it in the very bottom right corner, you can hit the space and it'll move over a little bit for you, okay? And I'll show it to you there, right? There's income. And now it's more in line with where the data is, so because I hit those space bars. The next thing is we want our Y, and that was number of children. So I go here where it says Y-axis, and I type in number of children. You can see it typing there on the Y-axis. If I want to move it down so that it's more closer to where the points are, you can move it down. And now we've got our labels, and it's ready to cut and paste. So now you have to use that. If you don't remember how to cut and paste, you can come back here and see. I have a Mac or a Windows PC laptop, so I have to use this Windows Shift S to do that. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to the graph. I'm going to hit the Windows Shift and S button. And notice you've got this plus sign. Now it's ready to cut and paste. So I'm going to take the part that has all the points. So I want to make sure I get the part that has all the points, and I'm going to highlight that. Hopefully this shows up in the video. And I've got the two context in the axis there, and I let go when I'm finished highlighting. I can then go back, and this goes in for number 3, right? So I'm going to click in number 3 because number 3 is asking for the scatter plot. So when I click into that box for number 3, I hit Control V, and there you see it. It's in there. Okay, you don't need to expand on it or anything like that. You can leave it like it is, and then you can start to answer the rest of the questions. All right. Good luck.